definitely what we do here in Saudi is all about community. We were living in the underground for the longest time ever.
Nothing in the world spreads as fast and connects as powerfully as music. It can change perception like this.
We're shifting our lifestyles. How do you pull people from being shy and reserved into coming out as an artist and being expressive and showing their best colors and, you know, not worrying about any kind of limitations.
ما كان الكوميونتي بشكل كامل متقبل انه في شيء اسمه راب عربي او Arabic hip hop scene. الكل كان يشوف انه توباك وانا بي متهيئين، تبغوا تعملوا نفسكم فنانين راب، تبغوا تسووا نفسكم جانجسترز. دائما المنظور عن الراب انه عصابات، شوارع، قتل، مخدرات, which is not.
We act like music scene had just started. Music is a part of us. I think it's about reminding ourselves of who we are and where we come from. And now we're just applying new technologies to a new generation. I think of it as like we've been existing, it's just now the world just woke up and realized that we're here.
There's no Saudi that can say that they don't listen to music when they're heading from one place to the other. What we really need to do is ground this in some truths of who are we as a people and how do we approach entertainment.
المشهد الفني السعودي مر بمراحل كثيرة. أطول مرحلة فيها لما كنا كلنا underground. كله underground، كله محدود، distribution كله يعني منحصر على النت، يوتيوب، القنوات البسيطة هذه. مع إعلان رؤية 2030 تغييرات شملت كل حاجة حتى المجتمع الفني السعودي ورفعته من مرحلة الأندرجراوند إلى مرحلة الاحترافية.
Everything that's happening in Saudi, if it weren't that, I wouldn't think that music is in the realm of possibility, to be honest, because it took kind of things taking a shift for me to go like, okay, this is a potential route for me to take to begin with.
Come on, I want home!
Yeah! My friend, we are all home.
Yeah!
We've been waiting so long to reach the world, and we don't want to wait. But that's why now you have, in 3 days, 750,000 people in MDLBEAST shipping. This is what we need.
Hi. So this next song is called Woman. So I want to see extra energy from the females in this room, all right?
This has been a big dream, I think, for all four of us to create music, to be something, because we know we have it in us. I remember attending XP 2 years ago, and there was this workshop about being a female artist. And at that time, I was more shy and didn't really know where I wanted to go. And I remember attending that workshop impacted me. I found out that I had this strong voice that I didn't know existed. I remember that workshop. That was the first time I discovered that I was female. I started off pretty young, and at the time it was quite unacceptable by like society and family, obviously. So I wanted to create music under the name of Anonymous. And it was made like, it was on a whim. I was like, Fulana. And I was like, now I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I was sticking with it.
I want to give more exposure to women because there are so few of us on the scene, in the Saudi scene especially. And we're growing more and more by the day, and we're supporting each other. I feel that we're having more exposure internationally than we are back home, back in the Arab world. So I want to highlight and accentuate that, like, hey, we exist.
we launched Hunna, which is a female mentorship program. Especially women in this region, we have specific challenges when it comes to cultural barriers. And Hunna is here to also support those women and give them also the safe space to achieve their goals.
I don't think it's a challenge as much as it's an opportunity to break beyond the boundaries and barriers that we've built for ourselves and be able to imagine, and not only imagine, but feel. The ability of music to make you feel something. That to me is inherent in creating the safe spaces for women to enjoy their time, and creating spaces where music and the types of music that are being played are not harsh, but rather one that uplifts us.
الدانس كلتشر والميوزك ايفنتس هي بشكل عام شيء جديد علينا في الريجن هذا، والناس بدأت تبني زي ما تقول اتيكيت خاص بانك تكون على الدانس فلور، تحترم مساحة غيرك.
There was a lot of challenges because we were missing the whole ecosystem. The nightlife is a complete ecosystem and it needs to work together. And since it was illegal, it was just like personal efforts. And you cannot go big because you don't have the scale, and there was this fear because there's no legislation or policy behind it. But with the presence of MDLBEAST and especially XP, building that dialogue, we're just starting to see more and more is happening in Saudi Arabia. So the ecosystem is slowly becoming from nothing into being filled.
The Ministry of Culture was established around 5 years ago, and the minister was working with UNESCO to try and figure out what next. How do you build a cultural infrastructure for the nation? We see those enablers start to be built, start to come to life. Organizations there providing opportunities, platforms for creators, artists, and the infrastructure and ecosystem needed to support them to really come to life.
When we were designing XP, it was around 4 main pillars. It was about talent development, about developing the scene, about impact, and lastly about innovation. It's a sweet spot between our region and about the world.
When I first heard about that there was going to be a music conference in Riyadh called XP, like in my hometown, I was over the moon. Like I couldn't believe it. Yesterday when I was walking around at night and going to all the warehouses and listening to the music, I'm really, really proud of everything that's happening.
And now the kids growing up with MDLBEAST, growing up with these festivals, with this exposure to music, they're going to become really good artists.
This is what Saudi Arabia is doing at the moment. They're putting a huge budget on the entertainment sector. We're going to make it much better. I mean, when it comes to music videos, when it comes to marketing, PR, we definitely lack of this, and we're doing our best at the moment with the budget that we have. But I think with more funds and more investments, absolutely we're going to do a much, much better job, what we're doing now.
We already built the top tier, you know, the top of the pyramid is already done. It's our responsibility to fill the gaps in between.
It's a continuous process, and we want to see different communities. We want to have a jazz community, we want to have an indie community. I want to see that branching out and each community doing its own showcases and like becoming big.
We need to look at this industry legitimately. We need to look at these careers legitimately, and we need to treat them just like we treat the tech industry. So investment needs to happen, infrastructure needs to happen, and how do we create competitive spaces for them locally and regionally as well as globally?